Hello and welcome to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia for the very first edition of 3x3 Overtime. I'm Kyle Montgomery, a.k.a. the voice of 3x3. This is my partner in crime, Boz Rosendahl, a.k.a. The Mountain. We just wrapped up an unbelievable, incredible, heart-stopping first day of play. 20 games in the books, the women in A and C in action, and the men in pools B and D. We had some outstanding individual performances, some shocks, some upsets. The storylines and plots abundant in this one. We're going to get into them all. But as we start taking a look at the day's results that started very early this morning, had a rain delay in the middle of the day, so the day was extended. But as we look at some of the games that that took place today here, Boz, like they were unbelievable. But what kind of stood out to you?
Look, the last game of the day stood out to me because we had Gluditis for Latvia go off for 18 points. That is unheard of. That might be a World Cup record. We're going to have to dive into the history books to figure that one out. Besides that, some teams we didn't expect to do well did well, right? Spain men came in, picked up 2 victories. I didn't think that would happen before they won, but they actually beat Olympic bronze medalist Lithuania in a huge victory for España.
Yeah, the early session had some shocks and surprises as well in the women's competition. Hungary come up empty-handed. I thought a lot of people felt they would play stronger on this day. But on the positive side, when you look at the scores here, Spain 2-0. They seem to be turning the corner. They're a real player here.
For sure, for sure. And it's down to Aracoecha, the big guy, who averaged 10 points per game, playing under the basket. He's big, he's strong, and he got the job done. Some other teams that are unbeaten, the United States of America, of course, showed out with 2 wins over Japan and over Mongolia.
Yeah.
I like them as well.
Yeah, the Netherlands played well. There was one game that was relatively controversial in the way that Great Britain kind of lost that game. I think we'll touch on that a little bit later. But for me, I would agree with you. It's my shock of the day was an individual performance that we haven't seen very often. That was Gluditis' 18-point lights-out shooting performance for the Latvians to close the day. So I think we want to start with the ladies' team that stood out to you the most today. There's a lot to choose from. I think the Canadians 2-0. They played well. Did somebody impress you more than that?
Yes, I think somebody impressed me more than that because Canada was a little bit slow on offense to me. I'm going to throw it back to about 12 hours ago when we saw the Australian women play.
Kangaroos.
The Kangaroos went 2-0. They played great offense. They had all 4 of their players involved in the action. They also combined that with good defense to get W's, and especially the one over Poland. That was a gritty victory, a Poland team that came back late. Australia still got the job done, though, and they're on a roll.
I think the Aussies are the epitome of balance. They've got every ingredient you need to make that perfect meal, and they're off to a heck of a start. So these teams that were in action today, they'll be back in action the day after tomorrow. When it comes to men's teams, also long list of squads that we can choose from. He's from the Netherlands. I don't know if that's who he's going to pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was it.
I got a surprise for you.
Who's that?
It's the Netherlands. They got 2 victories on day 1, both of them coming at the hands of a Worthy de Jong buzzer beater at the end of that game. They looked like they were out of action here against Great Britain, who were up a couple of points going into the last few possessions. The Netherlands got a critical turnover, a jump ball situation forced, then got a last-second shot by Worthy to win that game. They went into a rematch of a game we've seen plenty of times in the past against Lithuania, right? Mainly at the Olympics. Again, down at the end of that game, they tie it at 19. Then Worthy gets a critical block, gets the ball, shoots it 2, wins it for the Dutch. They're 2-0. Magical.
Death, taxes, and Worthy de Jong hitting game-winning shots in big 3x3 events. Absolutely incredible. No argument coming from my side. Now, let's shift it to players specifically. We'll go back to the women's side. Individual performance for you that stood out the most.
So an incredible individual performance came at the hands of 38-year-old Ray Dalia.
Wow.
Italy. She scored 16 points. She's not known for her long-range shooting, but she went 5 of 6 from range, 8 of 15 from one, 6 of 12 from range in total. She ends with 25 points. 16 of them came in that first game. That is a huge performance. You can see here 6 drives, 10 rebounds as well. She is undersized. Now, the 5 turnovers is what happened in the second game, which is why Italy lost that one.
Yeah. Braylon D'Elia, normally known as a facilitator, 2018 World Cup MVP and Olympian, but typically one who defers, likes to pass, but she lit it up today. Now, let's talk about the man that lit it up the most today, men's top scorer. What do you think about that performance?
I think top scorer ended up being Gladides, but we didn't have enough time to put the graph on the board. So we're going to go with Ryo Ozawa for Japan here. Yeah. He was huge. He started this day of action with 9 points against the US of A. All those 9 points came at the start of the game, though, and then he cooled off. But he got to 13 points in that second game they played, where they picked up a victory. The man is lights out from beyond the arc, and the whole system for Japan, the pace, the space, the role players, it's all built around Ozawa succeeding out here.
And for those of you who are new to 3x3, Ryo Ozawa is a household name. The man scored 20 points. He holds the single-game scoring record, 20 points in one game this year at the Asia Cup. So not a huge shock to see him do what he did. So tomorrow, a whole new crop of teams. 20 more games are on the way as we expect the action to continue to be lights out as we head into day 2. Some of the games we're looking forward to, plenty of them as we get the schedule in front of you. Day 2 starts bright and early here tomorrow at 11 a.m. from Ulaanbaatar. And we'll see Asia champs, Africa champs, former world champs, Olympic medalists, all alike taking the floor once again.
And hopefully we won't see any rain or hail or thunderstorms or all that. Let's not do that tomorrow. No rain delays. It should be a good day, though. There's some great matchups coming up. And we'll see the other pools from what we've seen today. So I'm very interested in those games.
All right, we're back from Ulaanbaatar Square again, an 11 a.m. start for day 2 of this 9th edition of the FIBA 3x3 World Cup. Some of the games in front of you here. Circle that Netherlands-Japan collision in the women's competition. Team USA with Sarah Strong back in business. Czechia is not a team to be slept on. And another one of those marquee matchups that will be on tomorrow's 20-game schedule. While Olympic silver medalists Spain and Ukraine going to lock horns and lace them up, and the Mongolian women. So the crowd will be loud, the energy will be palpable, and we'll be back to business for day 2 tomorrow. Again, starting 11 o'clock. Right here from Ulaanbaatar Square in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. It's been a blast here today, boss. You got one more thing you want to say?
Yeah, look, I'm looking at the men's schedule. I got that Pool A circled. Belgium-Serbia should be a key matchup. I like that one. And even that last game there, France-Puerto Rico, that is going to be fireworks.
Yeah, Puerto
People
Rico,
better tune in for that one.
One of the dark horses, also with one of the most explosive offensive players in the game, and Antonio Relat. Hey, if you're not following us yet on social media, would you do that for us, please? That's at FIBA 3x3 on all of your major platforms. You can find Boz and I at 3x3 The Voice, at 3x3 The Mountain. Engage with us. Get active with us. Use the hashtag 3x3WC. Appreciate your life. It's time for sleep now, right, Boz?
Yes, it is.
All right, we're getting out of here. We want to leave you with some looks and sounds of the day's top plays. That does it from us out here in Ulaanbaatar. You just watched 3x3 Overtime. See you tomorrow.